Now let's look at another model where we are going to involve train and relative speed concept. So what is the specialty about train is it is going to have some length. So till now we are talking about bodies where we have completely ignored the length of them, right? Now whenever we have an object which is long, then we can ask two types of questions on it. One is when it is going to reach a point, and second is when it is going to cross the point, right? In that case we are going to use the length of the body as well. So what I mean to say is, see this, now let us assume that there is a train and whose length is, let's say, dt. Okay, this is the length of the train, and now let's say there is a point here. Maybe we can assume that it is a pole, right? Then I can ask you about two questions. So if the distance between this train and the pole is, let's say, d, okay, and if the length of the train is dt, then one question I can ask you is how much time will it take for this train to reach this point? Which means the starting of the point has to meet this point, right? And the second question I can ask you is when it is going to cross it. So crossing means it has to reach it and also the end point has to meet it, which means it has to completely pass over, and then the last the tail of the train, and then the pole has to meet. So in that case this distance, the length of the train is also going to play a key role, right? Now let's read the question and I'll explain you how to solve it. Now the first question is, a 300-meter long train is running at 54 kilometers per hour. Then in how much time will it meet an electric pole which is at a distance of 150 meters from the train? So they are saying that from the starting of the train till the pole, the distance is equal to 150 meters. Now the question is, when is it going to meet the pole, right? Then you have to consider only this distance, right? And also they have given the velocity, the speed. The speed is 54 kilometers per hour. So they are saying that it is moving at a speed of 54 kilometers per hour. Right, and now the distance, since it is given in meters, either you can convert it to kilometers or you can convert it to meters per second, right? Now if I have 54 kilometers per hour, right, it is same as 54 into, let's say, 5 by 18 meters per second, right? So this one is going to be 1 is 15 meters per second. So both are equal. So 54 kilometers per hour is equal to 15 meters per second. And in the previous videos I shown you how to convert this. You are supposed to multiply with 5 by 18, right? So now if you observe this, the question is simply speed of the train is given and the distance is given, and now you have to just find out how much time will it take for the train to cover that distance. So time is equal to distance by speed. So distance is equal to 150 meters divided by speed is 15 meters per second. Therefore you are going to get is 10 seconds. In 10 seconds the train is going to meet the pole, right? That is simple way. Now let us say, instead of giving you that when it is going to meet the electric pole, let's say the question is about crossing, when the train is going to cross the electric pole. In case if you want to find it out, you have to even include the length of the train. Now it is given that the length of the train is 300 meters, right? So in this case you have to cover this distance, and after covering the distance the train will be like this. The train will be here, and you have to cover the distance which is equivalent to the length of the train, so that the train will pass the electric pole completely. Therefore in that case the total distance you are supposed to cover is going to increase by the length of the train, right? So in that case the time taken will be equal to the distance between the train and the pole plus the length of the train divided by the speed. Now it is given that the train is having a speed of 300 meters, therefore it is 300 plus 150 divided by speed is 10, right? So it is going to be 45 seconds, right? So it is 300 plus 15, 150, okay, 450 divided by 15, right? It is not 10. So the speed is 15 meters per second, right? So it is 30 seconds. Alright. Okay, now one more possible question is, sometimes they will not say anything about the distance. They will just ask, they will not give you this one, electric pole, only this is the question given, let us say, right? It means in how much time will it cross an electric pole, that is given. Length of the train is given and the speed of the train is given. Now just the question is, how much time will it take for for the train to cross the pole. So in that case, what you can assume is that there is a pole and the pole is not having any distance from the train, which means the starting of the starting of the train and the pole are exactly at the same point. You can assume it that way, right? In that case, the time taken for the train to cross the pole completely will be equal to the time taken by the train to cover a distance which is equal to the length of the train. Right, so in this case, simply you can say that the time taken will be equal to length of the train divided by speed of the train, right? So this is the time taken. Now what is this in that case? Length of the train is given as 300 meters and the speed is 15 meters per second, therefore it is going to be 20 seconds. Got it? So there are three models. Now if you look at the way this question is framed, it is actually they are working on a model in which there is a body which is moving, which is having some length, and then there is a stationary object which is having no length, right? And now we are talking about crossing. That is the model of this question, right? And you can even complicate it with the various models, right? You can also increase the length of this object. So this object is going to have some length and this object is going to have some length, and you can make one of them as stationary and other one as moving. Then you can frame a question. In that case, you can call it as a platform, you can call it as a train, right? And if you want to still complicate it, then you can say that there is a train which is having some length, there is one more train which is having some length, and they will be moving in the opposite directions, right? And if you still want to complicate it, they are moving in the same direction. So there are various models possible. We shall see all those models one by one. Whenever we come to that model, I'll explain you how to solve it. Okay, fine.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.